This is Digivation Network.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Digivation Network, standing in for Bayero Agabi, your one-stop show for ICT, business, innovation and lifestyle. I am your host for today, Omoye Ihaza.
This is Digivation Network.
On today's edition, the chairman of IoT Africa shares insight on IoT in the ecosystem. We are going to be looking at the top 5 amazing military technologies for 2022. We hear from Nigerians if they prefer voting from their phones or at the polling unit. And the guest of the week is the managing director of Galaxy Backbone, Professor Muhammad Abubakar. He will tell us why private sector sees Galaxy Backbone as a competitor. But before all that, let us check out issues and developments that made the news during the week. The international conference organized by the Nigeria Computer Society with the theme Smart, Secured and Sustainable Nation S3 in 2022 is scheduled to hold on 2nd to 4th August 2022 at June 12 Cultural Center, Abeokuta, Ogun State. The president of the Nigerian Computer Society, Professor Adeshino Simon Sodia, addresses the press in Lagos for the upcoming international press conference with theme Smart, Secured and Sustainable Nation S3 in 2022. The Nigerian Computer Society is the umbrella body of IT professionals, interest groups, stakeholders and student wings in Nigeria.
I want to warmly welcome you once again to the press briefing of Nigerian Computer Society. Our press briefing has been in series. I think we have had engagement once or twice this year. This one is typical because it has to do with the forthcoming event of Nigerian Computer Society, and that is the 2022 International Conference of Nigerian Computer Society that is scheduled to hold in Abeokuta City from the 2nd August to 4th August 2022. Of course, all of us would know by now that the International Conference of Nigerian Computer Society has become the premier, the biggest IT assembly, the assembly of IT professionals all over Nigeria and even beyond.
According to Sodia, S3N was carefully and scientifically chosen in order to provide needed technological support for government's drive and vision in this modern society.
Part of the things we started with was coming up with a suitable team for this conference. Of course, in coming up with our team, some people will come up with a number of suggestions. We'll put them together, analyze, and try to drop some, bring some more, recast some. But this team is actually something that came from myself and the Chairman Conferences Committee. You know, though we started with not exactly this, but very close to this, and we were able to get something.
Speaking at the press conference, the S3N 2022 event is going to be a virtual, physical and hybrid one. Will be the biggest and most influential IT event in Africa. The conference will focus on issues and sub-theme 5G and digital economy, smart and secure surveillance system, healthcare and smart care, design and regulatory framework, e-government and policy framework, artificial intelligence and applications, critical national infrastructure, call tracking and counter-terrorism, cybersecurity and more. Professor Sodia added that the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Ali Pantami, will be the chairman of the event. The Director General, National Identity Management Commission, Engineer Aliyu Aziz, will give the keynote of the event. Royal Father Oba Laki of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, will speak on the history of Abeokuta. Former Governor of Ogun State, Otunba Gbenga Daniels, Google representative, and other notable speakers. Also speaking virtually, the chairman of the Conference Committee of NC Ayodeji Rex Abitogun said the event is top-notch and will cut across all academic level for business solution, security to accommodation, logistics, connectivity, and other exigency that will make life comfortable for participants.
Well, the president has said a lot in terms of the conference and in terms of the participation, global participation, as well as participation from the country, especially from different stakeholders, cutting across government, captains of industry, as well as members of academia and students.
The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has personally unveiled the Smart Residency Card at a launching event held by the Lagos State Residence Registration Agency on Wednesday. The event, held simultaneously across 5 locations in the state, Ikeja, Lagos Island, Badagry, Ikorodu and Ekpe, will help government to generate a comprehensive database of all persons residing in the state. Sanwo-Olu said the state government would be targeting to capture 10 million residents on the database before the end of the year. About 6.5 million residents has been enrolled on the database by last year, with the state witnessing 4-fold increments in registration in the last 3 years. With the emerging population, the state government has re-examined strategies aimed at improving the security of the lives and property of the people. The new card offers a transition from an ordinary card meant only for identification purposes to a smart multi-purpose ID that combines biometric identification with other benefits such as security, financial services, transportation, and access to government services and amenities. Sanwo-Olu solicits for the cooperation of all residents to register and acquire the card in order to enjoy the benefit for the delivery of good governance against the backdrop of the state growing population. Special advisor to the governor on innovation and technology, Olatunbosi Alake, said the launch of the Smart Residency Card is another foundational level on which the government's Smart City project will stand on, noting that the new card will also promote inclusion. He explained that there is a standard security chips that prevent duplicacy identities and profiles with a cloud redundancy system that allows 24 hours operations and a high-rated machine accuracy system. Cryptocurrency has become popular in Africa and other developing countries, according to a policy brief released recently by the United Nations Agency. The significant population of Kenya, 8.5%, South Africa, 7.1%, and Nigeria, 6.3% population, are using this digital currency, and in July, the Central African Republic adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender. In an interview with the Convention on Africa, Iwa Salami, an expert in financial technology law and regulation, examined the future of digital currencies in Africa. She said cryptocurrency have gained acceptance among a large population of the low-income population that was previously financially marginalized. She added that most banks in Africa were not accessible to this segment, and low-income account holders were discouraged by high transaction costs. According to Dr. Salami, cryptocurrencies are quicker, cheaper, and easier to use than conventional methods due to technology facilitating peer-to-peer transactions rather than relying on intermediaries. These currencies were more accessible than traditional banks during the pandemic and lockdown, creating an increase in drive and growth across Africa. Despite the ongoing downturn in the market, cryptocurrency represents the future of finance and financial transactions, and there are indications that cryptocurrencies are here to stay, which is seen from the increasing recognition by countries. Nigeria has recognized the need for state representation of digital currencies in the form of central bank digital currency, and more countries will transverse these options. This is Digivation Network. Remember, you can also stay up to date with trending issues on ICT, business, innovation, and by visiting our website www.digivationnetwork.com and subscribing to our YouTube channel www.youtube.com or Digivation Network displayed on your screen. Still to come is the chairman of IoT Africa, Larry Ayola, as he shares insight on IoT and the ecosystem. The Internet of Things is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, animals, or people that are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. IoT enables companies to automate processes and reduce labor costs. It also cuts down on waste and improves service delivery, making it less expensive to manufacture and deliver goods, as well as offering transparency into customer transactions. As such, IoT is one of the most important technologies of everyday life, and it will continue to pick up streams as more businesses realize the potential of connected devices to keep them competitive. An IoT ecosystem consists of web-enabling smart devices that use embedded systems such as processors, sensors, and communication hardware to collect, send, and act on data that acquire from their environment. IoT can also make use of artificial intelligence and machine learning to aid in making data collecting processes easier and more dynamic. The Internet of Things is important and help people live and work smarter, as well as gain complete control over their lives. In addition to offering smart devices to automate homes, IoT is essential to business and organization. Here is what Chairman of IoT Africa, Larry Ayola, has to say.
To produce more digitally skilled people than are leaving the country. We have almost 100 million to train out of the 200 million, because half our population, I think, is below the age of 25. That may not be entirely accurate, but it's approximately that. So if we embark on massive training and manpower development of digitally skilled people, you notice I'm not using the word IT, because it's not only IT people that are leaving. You have people who are digitally skilled in a broad sense, whether they're IT support, IT solutions, IT information architecture, systems engineers, and then digital marketing people as well, people who use media, modern media techniques to produce films and so on.
Internet of Things ecosystem is a broad network of connected and interdependent devices and technologies that are applied by specialists towards a specific goal, such as creation of smart cities and enabling environments. The use of IoT creates the connection of data from the internet and cloud platform. The chairman explained how IoT will convert cities into smart cities, companies into smart companies, and more. Larry Ayola said IoT help in every life and provide good standard of living with timely information security, tracking individuals, and home security. Talking about wide range of acceptance on IoT, Larry shares light on oil and gas, agriculture, and business.
And then the data would be analyzed and presented to the farmer in a manner that the farmer would now be able to make use of that information. You can even go one step further and have expert systems where if you configure the system to say this farm is farming this particular species of corn, all the parameters required for that corn to do well would be known by the system. So if the moisture content is insufficient, the system would actually tell the farmer how many liters of water he needs to irrigate the farm with in order to bring it back up to standard. So you can see this is precision farming. Precision farming, if introduced into Nigeria, would increase our yield several times over and make our production and make us self-sufficient in food. So the Internet of Things, for example, is very good in helping with food security.
Yeah, that the government is involved and ready to play a major role, and the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Lee Pantami, is taking steps into IoT in Nigeria ecosystem. Professor Mike Hinchin from the University of Limerick Island at the Stakeholder Consultative Forum on Emerging Technology, looking at the regulatory roadmap for IoT ecosystem in Nigeria, added about getting more Nigerians involved in IoT with good government regulation that should be put in place for IoT, establishing a roadmap to get people to participate.
Well, I think this is a great start. I think, that there is a plan to put in place a roadmap that can make it possible for people to get involved in the Internet of Things in Nigeria. As the Minister has already said, he plans that there will be sufficient regulation so that people can get in, but not so much regulation that people cannot make advances and make new discoveries and add new benefits.
Welcome you to this new ride, a digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is Digivation Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
You are still watching Digivation Network. Today, conventional warfare is increasingly being replaced by hybrid approaches that also combine cyber warfare and other frontiers. Emerging military technologies trends are changing the battlefield in 4 aspects: connectivity, lethality, autonomy, and sustainability. Here is everything you need to know about the top 5 amazing new military technologies. Enjoy it.
On today's top 5, we'll be looking at top 5 amazing new military technologies. Let's get straight into it. At number 5, we have satellite melter. What's one way to remove an enemy satellite? Melt it. Several funded programs, including Elon Musk's SpaceX, is developing a satellite that will be designed to hunt and track adversary defense satellites. If done right, it will work by simple physics, reflecting a sunbeam on the enemy satellite that will, over the course of weeks, hit the opposing satellite just enough to make it fall off orbit and burn up the re-entry into the upper stratosphere. It would look like a brilliant strike in the sky. In fact, it would not be seen. That's the idea. At number 4, we have squid camouflage. Current camouflage can hide soldiers and their vehicles from human sight, but is close to useless against ever more common infrared vision system. Scientists at the University of California hope to fix that with what they call invisibility patches based on the structural protein common in squid, used to change the color and reflectivity of their skin. This protein, called reflectin, functions in the same wavelengths as night vision systems, and therein lies its promise. But scaling up this discovery to a useful military application could be many years off. At number 3 is plasma protection field. Boeing has filed a patent for a system that will protect vehicle from blast damage created by plasma field. The idea is to create an ionized air field that will deflect incoming blast. What it can't do is to stop an incoming projectile such as rocket-propelled grenade or anti-tank missile, but existing active protection systems such as AMI iron curtain are designed to handle those. Copy a vision of a dome appearing around a vehicle as in Star Wars, the Boeing system would only defend in the direction of the incoming blast. At number 2 is laser cannon. The iconic science fiction weapon is closer than ever to reality. The U.S. Navy's testing of this laser weapon system in the Persian Gulf went swimmingly, and the Navy expects to deploy even larger laser weapons aboard ships to protect them from threats such as small attack boats and drones. Meanwhile, on land, Boeing and the Army are working on truck-mounted lasers that can zap incoming threats such as mortar shells or drones. One of the many benefits of laser is that it can be fired repeatedly for minimal costs. Just the diesel to power the truck-mounted generator that provides the burst of energy the laser concentrates downrange. And number 1, self-steering bullets. Packed with tiny sensors, a .50 caliber bullet under development can change course rapidly mid-air, potentially giving a mediocre shooter. Packed with tiny sensors, a .50 caliber bullet under development can change course rapidly mid-air, giving even a mediocre shooter sniper-like accuracy with the ability to hit moving targets with ease. While the cost of these advanced rounds are still unknown, they are sure to be cheaper than rocket-propelled missiles, whose role they could sometimes fill. DARPA, which is working on an Exacto project with military contractor Teledyne Technologies and ammunitions maker Orbital ATK, is keeping mum on exactly how the bullet changes its flight. path. A competing effort from the Department of Energy Sandia Labs uses laser to indicate the target while small fins on the bullet steers it in flights. Both programs are still in testing. Those are the top 5 amazing new military technologies.
Welcome back. Electronic voting has been established as a means for safe and reliable election results without interference and threat, especially during international election voting. Is there a possibility to adapt this in Nigeria? Let us listen to the thoughts of Nigerians if they would prefer voting from their phones or other polling units.
I'll prefer voting through my phone because I feel it's safer these days going to the polling booth is not safe. You go there, you are being attacked by hoodlums and some other stuff like that. So I prefer to vote through my phone. And if you vote through your phone, at the same time, I think for them to read it, it's not as easy as when you vote through the polling booth. You know, when you vote, for example, now like Big Brother Nigeria, you know, when they are voting through their phone, the way they vote, everything reads like this, something like Bashat or something. It votes, so there's no way you can read the election. You understand? It's safer and more security conscious than going to the polling booth.
With this present age and situation, I believe doing electronic voting will be better because based on the mass crowd that will be coming out for election, I believe going to do all these things online will be better than going to queue up for election and probably waiting in the sun and the rain just to get your vote counted. For data accountability, I prefer the electronic voting better than the physical voting.
Well, I prefer to do electronic voting. Why? Because with the current situation now on ground, people are really busy as it is in Nigeria. So I really don't think going to vote with the polling elections is a good idea. I prefer to stay at home and vote from who I choose to vote. Well, no. For me, I feel Nigeria has improved more on network issues. So they need to just deal with it before time. That's what I feel.
Of course, I prefer using my phone because we all know what happens at the polling units. Some polling units can be really crazy, fighting and the rest. So I prefer staying in the comfort of my home and then put in my vote. Since it's electronical, the vote will really count. Unlike when it's just the manual, you with your ballot paper and the rest, anything can happen. It might be counted as an error vote or whatsoever, but electronic voting is always accurate.
As far as I'm concerned, preferably it's better to phone on my phone than go to a unit to vote. One, because of the hoodlums. One reason. Second reason is that it will make us to vote our conscience, not to vote by money or by intimidation of anybody. And that is my reason. Anyway.
I'll prefer the electronic voting. Why? Because it's more convenient. You can stay anywhere and do your voting without you going anywhere, without you walking around the streets or whatsoever. And I feel it's more convenient and I feel it's more secured. It prevents all this stealing of ballot boxes and the likes. I mean, that's my own opinion. No?
Voting through the phone or electronics media would have been the best, safety-wise. Would have been the best, but it's not all that has Android phones. So instead of you not voting at all, it's better you go to the polling units and do your voting.
During BB Nigeria, the way people vote, you be like, do you have this kind of population in this country? And the way people say it online, you understand? Some people go as far as even, putting their money in millions of naira, spending millions of naira to vote, which is, they don't do it during normal election. Most people believe their votes do not count. You understand? So most time people are being discouraged from going to the polling booth because they feel like, what's the sense of me voting when I know my votes do not count? But during BB Nigeria, they feel it counts.
I won't say people vote more on BB Nigeria. The only reason why that should be classified or having more votes is the fact that you can vote multiple times. But concerning the general election that has to do with putting someone in power, that one you can only vote once. So, and even if they are to implement the electronic voting for the general election, you also have to vote once. Compared to BB Nigeria, you can have multiple votes just to get your own favorite person to win the post.
It's BBM Nigeria, obviously. A lot of people watch the show, so it's something it's Africa's best, like let's say Nigerians' biggest reality show. So it's something people like to watch more than the political aspect. So I feel BBM Nigeria is more.
Many Nigerians know the truth that we like voting for BB Nigeria rather than voting for future leaders. One, for BB Nigeria, it's very sure that your vote will count, unlike the presidential vote.
As you can see me, I'm not the generation of BB Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
And so As far as I'm concerned, I didn't know anything about BB Niger. I've never sitting down watching anything like that.
Okay.
So I just heard about it.
Okay, well, what you hear? Do you think people vote more on the platform than...
You know what? I don't have interest. I don't know whether people vote or they didn't vote. I don't even understand what they are doing. Okay. That is my concern about BB Niger.
Well, to be honest, I sincerely don't watch Big Brother. Not like I don't watch Big Brother, but it's maybe once in a while. I mean, so looking at the whole scene, I feel people vote more on Big Brother Niger than they do on the election day. Because if you look at the number of people that keep talking about this Big Brother thing, yes, though people talk about politics more too, but the way they talk about, probably from my own side, I don't know, but I believe people talk more about Big Brother than, from what I see. I mean, from what I see, people vote more than they do for election. Yes. Right. Well, you know, there are some things we cannot change, and for real, there are some things we cannot just change. One, people's mind. You don't know. You can talk. You can talk from today till tomorrow. They will still do what they want. So I don't think there is anything we can do about it. Well, if there is, I mean, I'll be happy if there should be a change. I'll be very, very happy about it. But
I'm not a fan to Big Brother Nigeria due to some of the rubbish they are doing there. So I cannot give you a clear answer to that. I'm not a big fan to them.
This is AIT Infotech Network, reaching you from Freetown in Sierra Leone, Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Johannesburg in South Africa. We are in Cairo in Egypt, Tunis, the Tunisian capital, reaching you from Dubai, Hanover in Germany, Las Vegas in the United States of America, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. We are in Beijing, China, in London, England. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
Thanks for staying with us. Up next is our guest of the week, the Managing Director of Galaxy Backbone, Professor Mohammed Abubakar. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gadi.
What does the organization Galaxy Backbone stands for?
Galaxy Backbone Limited is a shared service provider of the government. ICT, that is technology provider for the government, established in 2006. It operates an IP-based network, okay, and mainly supposed to be providing ICT services to the public sector, including also developing transversal applications, okay, for the private sector. When we say transversal applications, we are talking about those applications that maybe more than one MDA can use, okay, in their daily activities. If you so wish, you can bring about issues like IPs, as it is, GIVMEs. You know, they are being used all over by every MDAs. So this is the transversal applications. And so this is mainly the mandate of the Galaxy Backbone Limited, is to operate this IP-based network and cut cost for the government. Before the establishment of the Galaxy Backbone Limited, you will remember that each and every MDA, as far as ICT is concerned, they are operating in silos. So now if you have a shared platform, and all these MDAs have keyed into that shared platform, definitely you don't need to now repeat on some other things that are already there. You share them. So through that means you can be able to save government costs.
Galaxy Backbone is supposed to be an enabler and not a competition to the private sector. But why does the private sector sees Galaxy Backbone as a competitor?
Yeah, I think it was because of maybe the projection then. How the private sector actually seen the Galaxy Backbone. The projection then. They see that they see Galaxy as more or less a kind of a monopolistic kind of an organization going into monopoly of the ICT as far as public sector is concerned. And so more or less. So they are more or less like a prepared government, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, it is not so. So if in the before maybe there was that kind of projection, and then the private sector has seen it that way, I have to say that now we have a reverse kind of reverse kind of an operation, a reverse kind of sense now as it is. Galaxy Backbone is just going to be like the normal organizations or sister organizations we know elsewhere. For example, the G42 in United Arab Emirates is there. It's not a competitor to the private sector, but rather it is supposed to be an enabler. The infrastructure that government of UAE has put in, the private sector can feed on it. Okay, it's the same thing. Whatever Galaxy has here is available also for the private sector. Okay, so that they can be able to cut on their own CapEx. It will reduce the cost of ICT. It will also make it possible for us to reach out to underserved and unserved areas, which normal private sector may not be, which may not be lucrative for the normal private sector to go into. So we are just partners and collaborators to the private sector as it is. It's very important that I mention something like this.
Let's look at the positioning of Galaxy Backbone as an enabler in context of providing cybersecurity. Because as a digital Nigeria we're going to be seeing a lot of invasion and security issues. Yeah, so in fact, I mentioned the fact that one of the reasons why Galaxy Backbone Limited was formed was also to secure the government data. We are talking about now the cybersecurity, specifically. And in fact, if I can digress a bit, when I came on board, we developed also a 5-year strategic plan. And this strategic plan has 6 pillars. You have the government policies. The second one is cybersecurity. That is data sovereignty. That is the second pillar. So we take it as the core kind of thing that we are supposed to do to provide a kind of security for the government data. In fact, 60% of our funds are being spent on security of the government data. And not only that, I think our call also to some of our private sector organizations started to somehow yield some dividends in this area. For example, we have a very strong partnership with Data6. Data6 is a cybersecurity outfit in Lagos. We also have another one, I think, with another organizations. And we are also open to getting more because securing government data is very fundamental. And as you said, as you grow ICT, the challenges and threats also. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
That was the Managing Director of Galaxy Backbone, Professor Mohammed Abubakar. And that's about the size of our edition this week on Digivation Network. Till I come your way next week, always stay informed by subscribing to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com or Digivation Network. And visit our website and social media handle displayed on your screen. On behalf of our regular anchor, Bayero Agabi, it's a bye for now. My name remains Omoye Ihaza.